Yo, what is good, my Quick Crypto family and my Coin Factory family? We're back again with the Kaspa Crypto live stream, and we have seen some extremely interesting updates come out as of late. Kaspa is seemingly getting a lot more adoption, a lot more exposure. The ecosystem is also starting to grow more and more, which is exciting. We got some updates from Igra Labs, from Michael Sutton as well, some early signs of a roadmap or what they're going to be looking into very, very soon. All of that, and of course a lot more to get through in this stream. There are some sources that are already available, but I need to look through them more myself before I can talk about them openly, because I'm trying to understand it myself. One including this post recently from Shy in response to CFB and his claims apparently on Kaspa, which I've been reading through it, trying to understand it for myself. Of course, Shy is more technically understanding than I am, so I'm not going to get to understand this overnight, but I'll try my best to understand it and talk about it, because I believe Shy, every time he's done these sort of major breakdowns, I find them very interesting and also inherently very informative to understand more about crypto and Kaspa as well. So that, either way, there'll be more sources to come out in due time. Either way, we've got a lot to cover in today's stream regarding Kaspa, regarding the market as well, the setup for what's going to hopefully be coming out in the next week as well, all of that and more. So if you enjoy this content, typically daily live streams, then leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. Welcome back again to the channel. Dimitar first, as always. Yes, again, Future Crypto Elite is here. Welcome back, brother. Hope you're doing very, very well today. Good evening to you too, DC. Having a great day so far, I hope. And you too, Buffalo. Yo to you too. The Churv, what's up, my man? Hello, Caspian family, indeed. Welcome back, Falcon man. You're doing very, very well. Not much is good with this Kaspa chart. Yes, but I'd also argue it's fine. And I'll get into my reason for believing that in a moment. Actually, you know what? Soon I'll get into it right now. So right now, yes, Kaspa's currently up 2.59% on the daily time frame, valued at 7.72 cents. Not incredible. It's good doing today, of course, but considering where we were about a month or two back, we're still down roughly 40%, which is of course frustrating. But when you consider the movement being made right now, how back in April we saw Kaspa consolidate below 8 cents for about a week and then it blow out, and this time round we are seeing a similar action, but Kaspa's now been consolidating below 8 cents for 2 weeks now. Remember that saying once more, the longer the base, the bigger the breakout. So in this particular scenario now, with Kaspa still consolidating below 8 cents, when the breakout does happen, which I believe, based on the incoming catalyst, the inflation data, that should hopefully be very, very good, alongside crypto week starting next week as well, I'm optimistic that Bitcoin's going to start following the global liquidity, the M2 money supply. And if it does follow that, then we should be seeing, therefore, Bitcoin make that move to 120k, give or take, and then Kaspa will most definitely, in my belief, break above 8 cents, and that could be a very good breakout for Kaspa. And based on the fact that we're still seeing higher highs and higher low structure, especially if you look on the weekly, that's what the weekly right now. You can see in the weekly, Kaspa still forming those higher highs and higher low structure. Then I'm optimistic that Kaspa will pick up 8 cents and likely soar above to roughly 14 cents or higher. Again, how high we go, we have to wait and see. Based on other, zones and whatnot we could look at, we could understand and identify that this downwards trend line here, these two trend lines here downwards, that would definitely be a level of resistance. So I suspect that Kaspa therefore might get rejected around 15 cents, but I still believe we'll break above that. So in the sense of stuff, yes, price is down from where we were a month or two ago, and that's frustrating. It does suck, but I think the setup right now is extremely strong and reassuring, and signs for the breakout coming soon above 8 cents. How long till all-time highs? I'm sure people are wondering. Nobody knows. No one's got a crystal ball. We can't say for sure. But with what's coming up for Kaspa this quarter going into Q4, which is October, November, December, last quarter, I think Kaspa's going to see a lot of very, very big announcements, a lot of FOMO, a lot of price appreciation, maybe even some listings then as well. Who knows? A lot of stuff's going to be coming out around that point. The market's going to be accelerating more. So we did see a post, actually. I haven't got it preloaded, but I saw a post where apparently the SEC are, according to Reuters magazine, Reuters, they're apparently reported that the SEC are trying to finalize some form of framework to fast track ETFs So we might see, therefore, that coming out next week or so alongside crypto week. So that would be a very, very good catalyst for altcoins and stuff as well. We'll get into all of that in a bit more detail, come back full circle later on as well. Welcome back, Wing Hong, bro. You're doing very, very well. With Munya, not yet, but hopefully in due time. Falco getting Kaspa getting some love for sure. I will fight you. I mean, it's looking good today. Again, it's not, celebratory sort of price action, which has not been the case for a whole while, but it's looking better today. 7.73 cents, up 2.6% on the daily time frame. It's doing okay. Bitcoin equally trying to make the push again to above 110k, which is good news. So this is also, reassuring signs for breakout incoming, and that will be good for crypto following that as well. It's a tune and it's stuck in my head every time you show up. I'm sorry. Fair. I'm not familiar with it though. There he is. Yes, there I am, Kryptoni. Welcome back, brother. You're doing very, very well. I know I was not here yesterday and I apologize for that, but I am here today with the crypto and Kaspa content. And equally, welcome back to you too. Beams, if you look at the all-time chart, it looks like getting a cup and handle, which is really bullish. Which, I mean, yeah. Especially if you look at it right here. That looks very much like some form of cup and handle, or quite a big cup and handle, I guess. But again, TA aside, I think right now the TA, I said it in my last stream or the stream before that right now I don't think TA is the most crucial element to paying attention to. I mean, it's always important, definitely, mix and match with fundamentals, but I think there are times where TA can shine through better than fundamentals, and equally vice versa. When you've got a market that is kind of very much chopping sideways and not doing much, which you could argue was, similar to Kaspa, like in these zones here, then that's when TA be very, very good to let you know if Kaspa breaks above this, they don't likely go up. If it goes below here, they don't likely come down. It came down. So there's times for TA can be very, very good to devise where the market's going to be going. Otherwise, then typically fundamentals matter a lot more. And right now we are in very much a fundamentally headline-driven market. So we'll have to wait and see. Ultimately, things for me, I'm still optimistic. I'm optimistic. Jay, very cool. The post about, yeah, I know. I apologize, Erica, for that. I'm not going to out my source because that would be, not fair on him, because the source of mine has been very, very good. He's had a very, very strong track record. And unfortunately, he got sold a dream this time around. Therefore, I did as well. I should have fact-checked it before I put it into the Discord community. I'll do better. I apologize for that. But it was also quite funny how it was just after Cody said this chat's becoming quite dry. And then I posted that and got a lot of interaction. But that would have been something. I mean, I'm sure it's time to what's to come in the future, but, not ideal at this moment in time. Unfortunately, it's forming a head and shoulders. Head and shoulders pattern. I'm trying to look at that right now. I don't see the head and shoulders particularly. Because, I mean, I guess you could say it was that, but I don't think that's really enough of a shoulder. I don't particularly see the head and shoulders here. But maybe it's just me. Either way, I mean, TA is important, but I think right now fundamentals do matter a lot more in this current predicament we're in right now. That being said, let's get into some of the content real quickly before we get into any more of the questions and announcements. So to start off with, getting into some macro as always. We can see right now we have two announcements here that's come out regarding Trump and the current tariff situation. So apparently Trump is now posting individual trade letters to countries with new tariff rates. So far, Trump's announced 25% tariffs on Japan as well as South Korea. And Trump also says that he'll be raising tariffs on Japan if they raise tariffs on the United States in retaliation. So once more, starting to see potentially some early worrying warning signs of trade war. Once again, we saw it for China the first time round, and now it looks like the two nations are coming to some form of agreement. And now Japan have been the main ones leading the retaliatory charge, trying to say, Trump, you're not going to do what you want with us. We're going to do as we want. So, of course, now you've got that. Yeah, Japan and Korea have both been told to basically bend the knee. S&P 500 lost apparently 1% on the day when this happened. If you look at the stock market right now, currently down a little bit. We did see a pullback off the back of that. Still, nearing all-time high, still doing very, very well. So it's not too concerning. But this once more shows the power of FUD. While Trump has paused those tariffs, so they would have been, reinstated tomorrow. He has paused them again for an extra 3 weeks. So 1st of August now these countries have until they have to form a trade deal, otherwise risk being put straight onto these extortionate tariffs again on those countries. And trade war could therefore burst out again. And with trade war, of course, we saw what happened last time with trade war, Liberation Day. We saw the markets capitulate. So we could see another repeat of that, which could be a cause for concern, especially in August with Trump's 6-month review happening at that time as well. So we'll have to see how that unfolds. If we get any good news regarding trade deals, regarding China forming a deal properly, UK, EU, especially Japan, Mexico, Canada, South Korea, those countries, the big ones, India, then yeah, I think we could see some big things coming out and reassuring markets, especially with the global liquidity doing very well. But otherwise, then the FUD is still definitely the driving factor. The headlines are the driving factor for the markets right now. And we can see equally like clockwork, Trump's tariff letters go out and the 10-year note yield is back to 4.4%. Yields are just 20 basis points below the highest we've seen when President Trump announced a 90-day tariff pause. We have reached the point where yields are rising regardless of trade war situation. Deficit spending has completely taken control of the long-term rates. The market is crystal clear. And I guess my depiction of that is that yes, it's happening regardless. I think the market is crystal clear. It's kind of a case of we're going to start seeing a bit of alleviation from the deemed safe havens. We'll start going to more towards risk assets right now. We'll see a lot of tailwinds coming through later on as well, in my belief, and that'll be great for altcoins, for Kaspa, for crypto as well. Now, that being said, looking at Kaspa on CMC right now, $76.85 million, 24-hour trading volume, $2.04 billion market cap. It's doing okay today, still lackluster, although volume is dominated by BitGet, 50% now. And I keep saying it time and time again, but this is really reassuring because for the longest time it was Mexi and Gate. These were the two biggest ones. And then Bybit and BitGet would be up there. L-Bank has some good volume at times as well, but it was never really BitGet. And remember once more the KEF they mentioned in the AMA back on November 10th. I'll talk about it every stream now. They mentioned that what these big tier ones want to see is high volume with Kaspa, but in particular on the big tier one exchanges, which therefore from their depiction of it was Bybit, BitGet, and of course now Kraken. Now, BitGet is taking up 50% of the total volume for Kaspa right now. Again, the volume's not that high, it's only 76%, but it's 50%. That's insane. So as you start seeing this similar percentile when the volume for Kaspa starts going up higher and higher off the back of smart contracts and increased developments, that would be a big indicator that tier ones are going to take notice of that, and they therefore might decide they want to list Kaspa. They're coming. We don't know when exactly, but we know they will. And that's going to be a very, very big deal. So seeing 50% of BitGet is huge, huge news. You can look at the Chaos 20 ecosystem as well right now. Zeal's currently at 70, just below 25 mil market cap. PBCAS just below 12. Nacho 7.1. So these are looking very, very cheap in that regard right now. That might change with mainnets hopefully coming to the project to the ecosystem very, very soon. And equally look at the token addresses right now as well. We've got 532,000 addresses. And equally looking at the same wallets, Wallet 2 holding strong. We're seeing some inflows in today. A lot of outflows from BitGet as well. And then equally KuCoin scooping up some other wallets as well, scooping up 1 million Kaspa and stuff like that as well. So we're seeing, inflows and outflows. Nothing creative happened today, but that may change next week with some big developments coming out. Michael Sutton just made a post. Work in progress draft, 100-line outline already written. I see this isn't going to be a walk in the park. There's so much to write about. The draft, of course, are talking about what's on his mind in terms of Kaspa's research and development in the next 1 to 1.5 years. Ultimately, what Kaspa can achieve by the end of 2026. In order of topics, does not comply to the order of time, but the length does not imply complexity either as well. But ultimately, there are three main things that Michael Sutton is going to be writing about in regards to the roadmap, in regards to what they have to achieve and when they think can achieve it by, which is the Diagonal Protocol, huge, game changer, end game for Kaspa, the ZK bridge, the canonical bridge, which is necessary also for allowing your ICAS and your WrapCas from IGRA and equally from Casplex to seamlessly change with Kaspa without a third party having to do these swaps for you, and equally the MEV auctions if he's optimistic. which we'll have to wait and see where that comes from. That it's going to be a very interesting thing. I'm looking forward to that. I'd imagine it'll probably take another month or so to kind of get this done, as it's not going to be a walk in the park. I'm sure he'll end up making his extensive report on it, and then you'll have someone making a graphic about it to shorten it out so we can find out the TLDR exactly when he thinks stuff are going to be completed by. If I was to hazard a guess, of course, this is me speculating because I haven't got an idea exactly how to build this stuff. I'd imagine the ZK bridge will be coming out worst case Q1 2026, and the Dag Knight worst case Q4 2026. Those are my two predictions. Worst case, I think likelihood you'll see ZK bridge probably this year, maybe end of this year, and end of Q4, and then Dag Knight probably happening Q3 of 2026, because they are working on it. They have got a lot of it done, and also, as confirmed, the Dag Knight, there are a lot of similarities to the current Ghost Dag and the Dag Knight. So they're not like remaking the whole protocol from scratch and hard forking it. They're building onto what they already have, just kind of blending the Spectre protocol, the benefits of that, which allows to scale with latency, into the Ghost Dag to make Dag Knight. So we'll see what happens at the MEV auction. Of course, will be very big, and we'll see if that happens as well. All this stuff, again, it's stuff that we're going to see coming out very, very soon. And the developments right now, despite what's happening, is still not stopping. The devs are working with IGRA very diligently. Things are coming together. We heard from XXIM, from Ankit, in his recent podcast with IGRA Labs, that they should have frozen the codes and finalized that sort of stuff this weekend gone. So now this whole week, they'll be doing a lot of fine-tuning, just chiseling it out, so they can be ready for the testnet to be launched in the middle of July, which we're currently on the 8th of July. So if I'm going to make the assumption, which I did speak about in the video I uploaded just earlier today with smart contracts, I'd imagine therefore that we'll start seeing the testnet for IGRA launching probably July 14th, or between there and July 21st, which is the same week as Crypto Week in Congress in the United States. So you might see therefore, again, it's just a testnet. It's a big testnet. It's IGRA's one, and I'm very excited for IGRA. Very, very excited for IGRA and what they're trying to build right now. The partnerships they have as well with Wolfie, with Casper.com, with 3 Capital. They're cooking. They're very transparent. I'm liking what they're building right now, and I'm looking forward to what more comes out. And I do think that we'll probably end up seeing this testnet coming out. And if the way I perceive it right now is that right now, in regards to markets, a bit of a tangent again, I'm sorry, but in regards to markets right now, Bitcoin's just short of 110k. That could very well change based on any surprising news, good or bad. But I'd like to believe that you'll probably see Bitcoin hold this level for a week or so going into July 14th, when you then see the crypto week happen. You might see a bit of a pump with investors trying to get ahead, thinking you're going to see a FOMO pump off the back of it. The Congress is going to be discussing, or the House is going to be, the Senate going to be discussing the stablecoin bill, the market clarity bill, and the anti-CBDC Act. Equally on the 15th, you'll see the inflation data. So next week is going to be one of the biggest weeks of crypto I think we'll see to date. You see 3 major bills discussed, and hopefully one enforced and sent to Trump's desk, being the stablecoin bill. The other one had to be discussed a little bit more so, I believe. And then you'll see inflation data. So we could see a big week, and if that happens alongside the release of IGRA's testnet, that could be a little bit of FOMO. Testnets and smart contracts aren't price pumpers, they're foundation building blocks. But if you see reassuring stuff being built alongside market sentiment, that might also incentivize investor confidence to start getting back into the project before a price pump. You want to get in before the rally, And we can even see here, in response to a deep reorg explained here from IGRA that happened last month as well. Someone asked here, so IGRA, Casper, smart contracts aren't guaranteed to be immutable for 12 hours. If they can't have better finality than Casper, half finality on Casper is after pruning point, which is 12 hours, same on IGRA. That said, the probability you get a reorg after a few blocks is vanishingly small. Everyone decides for themselves what probability they are cool with. For most, say 6 blocks is enough, 600 milliseconds on Casper, 1 hour on Bitcoin. So it's once more, again, this is a bit of a technical thing here, just highlighting once more that in regards to smart contracts, finality, nothing's going to be, immediate, but it's nothing also as quicker as Casper's is. So, and IGRA is based on the same kind of protocol, the same coding, so it's very, very similar, if not the exact same to IGRA, and everyone can decide for themselves what probability they're cool with. So, again, stuff that cooking with IGRA is looking very, very good, and I'm excited to see what's going to be coming out very, very soon, and we've got more stuff being built in regards to Casper as well that I'll get into in a moment. Before I do, let's get some questions first and foremost. DC says that the chart for Kaspa looking more so like a hedgehog, which, yeah, you could argue that as well. A little bit of a hedgehog pattern here. There's the nose, and there's the stumpy legs. Like my drawing. I'm an artist, right? And there's the hedgehog here. Yeah, some hedgehog, that's for damn sure. There's the little eyes right there as well. That's the hedgehog pattern. Jokes aside, I mean, yeah, it's been a long road for Kaspa. We could say that much for sure. Since technically since August 1st, 2024, which is now coming up to the year. We're on July now, so next month will be a 1 full year. So we are now 11 months down, which is, you know, frustrating, to put it politely, 62%. But again, it's not just Kaspa. Many projects are also down quite a bit. 50% down, 60% down. I mean, Sui right now is down 50%, I believe. It's doing okay. Has got VC backing and whatnot. Yeah, 45%. Say from its, well, even then, you take it from its all-time high. Say it's down 77% from its recent high. 66%. Looking at Tau, all-time high. 60% as well, recent high. About 57%. So yeah, I mean, yeah, most of the projects are going through their own little bit of cycles. Hedera, all-time highs, 60%. Algorand, recent high, 70%. So yeah, every project having their ups and downs right now. Kaspa is just in that regard in the same position. It's frustrating. You know, I can't deny that, of course, but just because the project's down doesn't mean it's out. You know, we've seen the exact same patterns in every single cycle beforehand. Every single cycle, project has been down for a long, long time. People counted them out, and then out of nowhere, they just explode in value because they have exactly what people wanted for them to have. Either good fundamentals, good utility, or they have people just endorsing the project and pumping it up. Which Kaspa hasn't got the latter so much, but has got the former. And again, right now the pattern for Kaspa, provided we get no surprise trade war or war outbreaks, as we are always at risk of doing so, Kaspa's trading right below 8 cents and have been doing so for almost 2 weeks now, or about 2 weeks now. Based on the previous pattern back here, you could assume therefore longer base, it'll be a bigger breakout, it should break above 14 cents soon enough. And then if it does break above this 13 cents peak it had here, then that would that more or less would confirm that we're forming this, you know, higher high and higher low structure now. You know, so that would be reassuring that Kaspa's going to make that push back up again. And then you've got catalysts that can come out to help, you know, further prevent the price from depreciating too much. Smart contract, potential tier 1 listings, the M2 money supply, you name it. The regulatory frameworks, all that stuff could be very, very good. So yeah, Crypto was saying head and shoulders, but then again, we formed one last October and broke way north of it. Yeah, precisely. You know, we had this head and shoulders as well, October around here. We had this pattern here. And we broke well above that here. So again, that's what I mean. TA, the chart structures and stuff, and the TA, they can help. They can help. The structures work. That's why people use them. But you shouldn't rely on them like a holy grail or Bible. All the best traders know that fundamentals are as important, if not more so, than TA. Most traders, the traders that people have in mind, the ones that have in my VIP groups, the ones who are, you know, experienced traders who've been doing it for a long time, they use TA religiously. They also know that the fundamental helps determine where the price is going to go. So I'll use TA like similar to how I use my TA to judge the zones. So you can see from Kaspa right now where you can see the levels of resistance and support. The lines here. 8 cents is a very tough level of resistance for Kaspa. Equally here. This is actually the buy zone. Equally here, around 10 cents. Equally a very tough level of support or resistance for Kaspa. You can judge that based on the TA. But where it's going to go, you can judge that as well. Again, looking at the TA right now, you can judge that Kaspa's constantly retesting with 8 cents. It's not pushing down at all. So there's evidently buyers right now who are trying to push it above that resistance level. So it looks like it's going to be going up soon. Probably on the back of Bitcoin pumping as well. But again, I think but Bitcoin will pump based on fundamental differences, which again, M2, the frameworks from crypto, regulatory frameworks, that stuff will come through soon. The main hedgehog of the chart is the multiple nested head and shoulders, but it's pretty unreliable pattern. Yeah, not the best one. Could have just caught up on the comments where that here, but only 2 more. True, you are right, Kryptonian, but only 2 more. But I also don't always like going to the very end of the comments of the things, so I can kind of always just kind of come back as something to talk about when I, sometimes when I'm like going through a tangent and I'm like, okay, answer questions real quickly, I'll do that. Sorry, bro. It's not super strong, but it's like 60% bearish. I mean, maybe. I'm optimistic that we're going to see a bullish pattern and bullish breakout soon. 12 hour looking ready to rip. Look at the 12 hour. I don't tend to go lower than the daily time frame. I don't even have the 12 hour time frame here. This is the project you're talking about. But I mean, I think Kaspa is on the cusp of ripping, but it does depend on when Bitcoin moves soon enough as well. Welcome back, Cash Ching, bro. You're doing very, very well, brother. I'm bullish on IGRA, especially on the core team that was Dev, is Daglab before. Yeah, exactly. That's one reason why I think a lot of people are very, very bullish on IGRA, probably more so than Casplex. Like DC saying here, IGRA give me more confidence in Casplex. I think Casplex are good. I have no qualm for Casplex at all. I am not taking anything that Shai said about Casplex to heart at all, or KF to heart at all. I'm choosing to give them faith and trust. But I would be lying if I didn't say that IGRA's transparent nature, more so than Casplex's, and equally the fact that, the IGRA devs, the team of IGRA, some of them are people who worked in DAG labs, like Mike, like Dennis. Therefore, they are part of the team who originally created Kaspa, and therefore I believe would follow their ethos more closely than a third party of another company would. I would like to say that there's a stronger belief in IGRA, agreeably. I like both of them. I'm not again trying to downplay Casplex at all. Casplex also have that early mover advantage, which is good for them. But I'm also, I have to say, from my perspective, the reason why I could argue I prefer IGRA is actually just because they've been more transparent. And I like knowing what's going on. Casplex has not been as transparent right now. And that, for me, is an amber flag for me. Because I would like to know what's going on. The fact that we were told in confidence that we'd see a mainnet launch before Q3. Now, of course, mistakes and that sort of stuff happens. But, it's just been very lackluster communication. Been very kind of hush-hush. And even now, they still haven't got a determined date when it's going to come out. We know they're now working on a new virtual machine with Lua or some sort, which is cool. I'm looking forward to that sort. If it's going to make better for devs, then great. But it's like, I just feel like there's more communication that could be done. And again, maybe that's just me. I'm a in that regard, I'm a degen to someone who's working on the tech. What do I know, right? But I think IGRA would be more transparent, so I prefer IGRA's transparency. I mean, they've taken part in podcasts with like XXIM and Kit. I don't think Casplex has done anything like that yet. Which is, why not? Welcome back, Brett, bro. You're doing very, very well. Even into you too, Stegosaurus. Yeah, equally the Stegosaurus pattern, the dinosaur one, is looking pretty historic. Is 500,000 Kaspa enough? Well, TPM, 500k Kaspa. So you reach $2, you have officially $1 million. So in that regard, it depends how long you're holding for and what your price targets are. I would argue comfortably, yes, 500k Kaspa is more than enough. Of course, you can get more than, more power to you. But 500k Kaspa is more than enough. It's a lot of capital. And the capital reaches, $1, you've got 500k, $2, 1 mil. We continue valuing from there in the future to come, years to come, then yeah, you're minted. But again, it depends on more. It's never just a surefire question. Because the case of what's your price target, whereabouts do you, not that, okay, I'm just emphasizing, I'm not asking you for this information. I don't need to know it, want to know it either, but depending on how much money you want to have, whereabouts you live, that's determine your cost of living as well. Did you want to have this nice car? Do you want to be able to retire just from Kaspa alone? Like, all these stuff are important questions to determine how much is enough. My short answer is yes, it's enough. The long answer is it requires more thought. Meanwhile, Pengu is being listed on a lot of exchanges like eToro, Webball, and Falcon ETF as well. It'll be the first ETF for a meme token combined with NFTs. I mean, you'll see many memes probably also get an ETF fund. Dogecoin will get one as well. Although at the same time, ETFs that have no utility, no use case, they will go to zero. There's going to be one of the worst crypto cuttings in history happening within the next 2 years. You'll probably see a lot of crypto projects die out once these regulatory frameworks are filed. So in the next 6 months. When that happens, 99% of the memes that the crypto tokens that die out will all be memes, because a lot of them are just pump fund rug pulls. There'll be some utility, quote unquote utility token that could die out as well, similar to what Mantra did, because they are just terror tokenomics, have no actual utility, or they haven't got any real use case of utility. They just kind of stage they do. I'm not saying that Pengu. I have no idea about Pengu. It's a meme, so who knows? Maybe it could be a big thing. And that's also true as well. In regards to memes as well, and frankly, any other project that is not Casper or Bitcoin, effectively, or if project is not fair launch, they have pre-allocated, pre-mined, whatever it may be, pre-tokens for the dev team, for people, and they can have to just pay their way and give it away for free to get what they want. They can give the tokens away to create ETFs or create the liquidity needed for an exchange listing. So it's just knowing it's knowing your risk to reward, right? You know that they have the capital and therefore they could rug you, but they can get a lot of volatility in the next 2 or 3 months and take the risk. Go for it. But it's a risk that you have to be willing to take. I never got into the Trump coin, even despite the fact that I knew Trump's coin would pump massively very quickly because it's Trump. But at the same time, I knew a wallet holding 80% of the supply, that's going to collapse, and it's collapsed. A lot of decks greener right now. If you look at the Trump coin right now, it is collapsed compared to where it was. See right now. And that's just one example, of course. Look, Trump coin's at 1.73 billion. That's a 1.73 billion market cap, which is quite a big, truth be told, still quite a big market cap. But look at where I was at. Look at that. Now you could argue, therefore, it being Trump's coin, it's going to probably see a form of rebound around 1.5 billion market cap again, based on the TA elements. But it was at 15 billion. And look at that. That's over 90% capitulation in price. It pumped like crazy in the first 3 days. We were talking about it every day. I could have got into that, Got into it. We saw it at 5 bill. Could have got into that. Made a 2x in it. I would have happily made a comfortable 2x and got out of it. But I wouldn't trust something like that. It's knowing your risk. Part of being in crypto is knowing. I mean, I hold Casper because I believe it's the safest project out there. But I hold other assets out there because I do see them as risky, but I also see them as it's worth me putting in my risk to reward. I mean, that's I do my occasional meme trading, my futures trading, understand my risk to reward. In fact, I posted some trades in the community earlier. We had hit a 70% gains, and equally, I think we had a 200% leverage trade. I think a few days ago as well. So again, the picks being put inside the community here, thanks to BYDFI, which again, working alongside us, have been quite good so far. So if you want to get involved, you can check out the Coin Factory VIP group. We do weekly private live streams. We do trade alerts in there, alpha information, educational videos, and equally thanks to our working together with BYDFI, we also provide a lot more trades daily thanks to them, which you can check that VIP community out for free if you sign up. You get permanent VIP access to the community if you sign up through the affiliate links down below and follow the steps in the free Discord server. And with that as well, you get also a 1 month free trial to this as well. So you want to find out a lot more, benefit more, capitalize in crypto and whatnot, and trading and everything else, information and whatnot, knowing what's coming to the space, because the live stream we did actually on Sunday was huge. Despite all the market uncertainty we saw at the end of last week, it was huge, covering what's going to be coming out in the next 2 years, how the space is going to transform in the next 2 years, 3, 4, 5x in adoption and use case. If you want to find that stuff out, information is already in the community, and equally the live stream's also uploaded there as well. You can find it all out, wop.com/coinfactory in the description, also my homepage as well, and also in the free Discord server. You want to check it all out there as well. That being said, let's get into a bit more of the questions now before we more of the content now before we get more to the questions right now. So you can see here from Casper Door, another DApp prediction market is for Casper is being built right now. We can see what Casper reached $1 USDT or $1 USD by the end of 2025. You can see the votes from yes to no right now. I need to update she's going to be doing that hopefully soon enough as well. And we'll come back to promoting it as the place to go for all Kaspa information, which, you know, those who don't know what Kaspa is, this is Kaspa, a website that was created by Kaspador. And I don't use it frequently, but it is a very nicely compacted website that he created, which kind of showcases, you know, everything regarding Kaspa, the tools, the ecosystem. You can see everything here. The exchanges that I launched Kaspa, the dexes I've launched Kaspa, wallets, explorers, KRC20s. Not every single one, but a lot of them are there as well. Even the books of Kaspa are on here as well. Down here. So, I mean, yeah, he's going to update that as well. You've got ETP as well from Valor. So you already got ETP from Kaspa as well. So very, very interesting stuff, and he's going to update that. But you, again, going back full circle, he said he's going to be he's just harnessing once more. You're seeing more stuff again. This is not game changing, but it's once more apps coming to Kaspa, and these stuff will start small and scale bigger. I'd argue Kaspa is already Cassia is already doing a lot of big things. You see a lot more stuff coming out that'll just incentivize more, like even the little things, like this is basically Polymarket. Is it Polymarket I'm thinking of? Double checking it. Yeah, Polymarket but on Kaspa. I mean, that's nothing crazy, but it's still going to incentivize people to stay within the ecosystem and using Kaspa to spend on stuff. So it's a cool development. A continuation, actually speaking of Cassia here, recently Cassia's transactions were added to Kaspalytics, which I'm also loading up right now. You can see here, currently at 1,236 transactions. So, and it's still very much in beta, not being utilized properly just yet. It's going to get more adoption coming out soon, I hope. I want to try it out myself, actually. But you can see here, you know, over 1,000 transactions and messages generated in just 24 hours. So it's getting a lot more adoption right now. That's early stage adoption as well. You'll see it happening a lot more. The second version, version 0.2.0 is here now, the biggest update yet. Busy building, so payments are here, send Kaspa directly in chat. So you can actually just send Kaspa to people in chat. The same way you could do a Venmo or what do you guys use in America? Is it Cash App? Cash App, I think it is. Yeah, you have that stuff there, but you can do it in Kaspa. In-message payments, send customer message with a payment. KNS integration, no more long addresses. Use .kns names or just the name to message and pay. Very cool as well. Go mobile, fully mobile friendly. Cassia on the go. Native apps coming soon. So that'll be, you know, put it on the App Store and Google Play soon enough as well. Major UI UTX overhaul, advanced wallet features, media and performance boosts, and much, much more. So again, this is it looks really, really cool. The stuff like group chats will be becoming possible in the future as well for group chat needed, stuff like that. It's right now, I'd argue, one of the most innovative apps that have been built on Kaspa right now. Just a messaging app. But what also a member as well, which I think I covered in my video as well, the likes of Chris Kang confirmed that he's actually very impressed with Cassia here, because building on Kaspa right now actually is quite difficult. The coding's not the easiest thing to do and build on right now. So the team here behind this is actually doing incredible stuff. So it's very impressive stuff, and we'll see hopefully a lot more of this stuff coming out, especially with the code becoming more dev-friendly to build on. Zealous doing some big things as well. They're now actually also the title sponsor of the Kaspa Experience 2025, which is going to take place in Berlin, September 13th, which is also really cool. So again, Zealous getting in the spotlight once more. Great for them. And then to the title of the stream. Less at the very end, I know, but we got here. V once more, become pretty much the Kaspa Maxi now. He's confirmed he's bought some Kaspa as well now off the back of his research. He asked, are there Kaspa Treasury companies coming next? You know, we've seen it with Bitcoin, we've seen it with Ethereum now. XRP's getting them, Solana's getting them. Will Kaspa get one? This individual here, not a big name, but he said himself that he's now actually been working on it for quite some time. There's already at least one publicly traded company with Kaspa on their balance sheet, apparently. But I intend to launch on the first pure Kaspa Treasury company later this quarter. So we might see the first pure Kaspa Treasury company come at the end of Q3. That might be a big deal. It could be. There might just be a movement also for more to come out in the future. I'm sure you'll see Wall Street companies also try to jump on the bandwagon as well, considering what Kaspa meant to be as a project. I thought it was but he's referring he's not referring to Dynamite, or from Canada. I'm not exactly sure which one he's referring to, the one in Europe. Maybe it's Valor. You know, they've got an ETP, maybe it's Valor he's talking about. who is a publicly traded company. But either way, that's very, very cool. This sort of stuff coming out to Kaspa, more incentive to hold the project. Despite the price still being lackluster, you're still not. You're seeing the FUD getting deafening, but those who are FUDing the project is. No one's ever complained about Kaspa in regards to a technology. It's always just been the price, and the only thing you can complain about it really. But everything that Kaspa's building is it always garnered attention. Even the Bitcoin Max is now starting to look its way, which is a big deal. And Kaspa being accepted elsewhere as well. $3.3 million oceanfront condo in Miami is for sale and accepting Bitcoin for payments. Very, very cool stuff. And Kaspa. Enjoy breathtaking ocean views from every room. 2.5 bathrooms, 3 bedrooms, 400 square foot, balcony, everything. Pickleball court, tennis court, racket court, basketball court. Absolutely insanely, $3.3 million, and you can accept payments in crypto for Bitcoin and Kaspa. That's just, again, a sign of what's to come. Kaspa's meant to be used for payments. If Bitcoin's a store of value, Kaspa's meant to be used for payments. That is huge. I mean, that's a hell of a lot of Kaspa. $3.3 million. It's a hell of a lot of Kaspa to buy that. I would argue don't do that with your Kaspa. If the price is going to appreciate in the future, at least. But, that's really, really cool stuff. How much is that actually, Kaspa? 3.3 million is probably about, round up to 10 cents to make it easier for me. Probably about $33 million. No, 33 million Kaspa right now. Actually, it's more than that. It's probably about near 50 million Kaspa, therefore. 50 million Kaspa to be able to buy this oceanfront condo in Miami. That in itself is crazy. I don't know who would spend 50 million Kaspa on that. But people got the capital, obviously. You got to be, quite wealthy to be able to buy that house anyways. But be able to buy in Kaspa, you'll see this stuff happening more and more. Treasuries will happen more and more. The same way you got Michael Saylor made Bitcoin Treasury first, and then you saw other companies from Wall Street jump on the bandwagon. Tom Lee's making an Ethereum Treasury next. Other companies could jump on the bandwagon. XRP's got treasuries coming out for it from the likes of Logistics and Vivo Power and many more. Solana has some as well. You'll see some come to Kaspa, and you see it start to accelerate more and more as the project expands more in adoption. And smart contracts come out, you have more reason to use Kaspa. Things are being built right now. Things are looking very, very good right now. And we'll see a lot more coming out. I'll probably get into some other posts like this one here. It's kind of a general update again for what happened last week with Kaspa as well. Some big updates here, like Wolfie Bar updates, Igra Labs on the podcast I spoke about on one of my previous streams. I'll be posting this on my Discord server, so you can read through it for yourself if you choose to. But you're seeing Kaspa being accepted for haircuts now. Like again, it's getting worldwide. Zeller swaps surpassing the 1 million swaps. The KF. I did see that actually. I didn't load that up. But KF apparently have expanded partnerships into Nigeria, which is again just spreading out further and further, which is great stuff to see all around. Wolfie Bar updates I mentioned already. Casio updates, just mentioned that as well. Castle Wallet updates. The Kaspa Fixer. Look at the Kaspa First Mixer. That actually is a very, very big deal. We spoke about that in one of the streams as well. Basically allowing you to privacy in transactions. So that's just huge for Kaspa. Privacy is a very, very big thing. That's why we decentralized in the first place. That's why we value that. So this will be coming out soon enough as well. So this is stuff coming to Kaspa right now, and the developers are building more and more. Roadmap will be very, very cool. And we'll see Treasury being built as well. So, I mean, yeah, price down, yes. Price out, down and out for the count, I would say no. I think we've got more room for running still. And I think the next move, and hopefully the next move surpassing its local high of 13 cents is coming in the coming weeks. The whole market is on the verge of ripping right now. That's how it looks right now. Bitcoin's still hovering near all-time. I mean, right now, all cryptos are far off all-time highs besides Bitcoin. Bitcoin's nearing all-time highs. If it rips above that, you'll see Ethereum probably start ripping as well. I'll probably imagine to about 3K. And then how high Bitcoin runs, we'll see it go probably higher. But I think it'll go to 3K. Maybe 3.1K. As another key zone. XRP will rip. Probably going up to what, $2.50, I'd imagine comfortably, maybe even up to $2.80 for XRP. Bitcoin rips properly. Kaspa, I think, will start ripping. It'll find resistance again, probably around, I say 11-ish, maybe 11.5 cents, maybe a little bit higher, 11 cents, give or take. And then it'll rip above there as well. You'll see the market rip if Bitcoin breaks up. Right now, again, remember, we are in a Bitcoin dominant market. So what Bitcoin does, crypto follows. And the dominance is gonna go up higher later on as well. It's going to. It's just going to, because you've got more Wall Street institutions getting involved into crypto. They're trying to create Bitcoin treasuries right now, actively trying to do so now. You know, you still got a lot more coming out, so Bitcoin dominance is probably still going to go higher the cycle. I still think we'll see 70%. And then you'll see alts starting to gain more momentum and traction, and the altcoin cycle will start later on as well. I'm going to buy some more. Stand by for a massive dump. Okay, thank you very much, DC. DC is going to crash the Kaspa coin. My man. What do you guys think? Do you see the tier 1s really pushing Kaspa and Kaspa getting pushed high this bull run, or do you think it'll be next cycle? Good question. I mean, obviously no one really knows. It is, to my understanding, or not understanding per se, but my speculation, that Binance have been with Kaspa and integrated with them since December 2023. They've been holding a long, long time. It's not in their business strategy to launch Kaspa. Now you can argue that Dotbot and Hyperwreck is correct, in the sense that they are not launching Kaspa because Kaspa is a threat to BNB and to Base and to those projects and to those chains, those protocols of layer 2s. If that's the case, then you may therefore see these tier 1s continue to hold and suppress Kaspa, hold off from launching it until it is impossible to ignore. And that'll be off the back of ZK, native, opcodes, off Dagnite, that sort of stuff. Therefore, that would be a 2026 thing. Therefore, next cycle, technically. Again, no one knows the cycle is going to end. It may continue into 2026, we don't know yet. But I'm also under the impression that based on the fact that these exchanges have shown support of Kaspa, you know, Kraken's launched them now. You're getting a lot of volume from the big ones now, like BitGet. Based on the fact that Binance have multiple occasions leaked and kind of showcased support of Kaspa. Coinbase now have futures. OKX have made a landing page on how to buy Kaspa. You know, this sort of stuff. Like, these sort of things that come out, crypto.com done so as well. I would like to believe that you'll see one of the listings happen this cycle, and with one, the firming will kick off and multiple will list at a similar time. If I was to hazard a guess, you'd probably see Binance launch first, quickly followed by OKX and then crypto.com. The likes of Gemini and those haven't really been vocal about it, so I'm not so sure about them. And even Coinbase, they're always very late. I don't think they really care. We heard from Wolfie in the XXIM and Kit podcast that they were in contact with Coinbase, and I've had kind of lack of communication and kind of radio silence for the last probably about a month now, because the person they were speaking to, who was very communicative, she got let go, I guess, and they brought someone else in who's not been talking to Kaspa, which is frustrating on their behalf. But Binance is still very much intrigued and constantly asking Kaspa questions. So I like to believe Binance are launching this cycle, and you'll see other exchanges following suit because of the likely FOMO that will come off the back of a Binance listing for Kaspa. It's the biggest exchange in the world. So I think we'll see one, and that'll push, incentivize others to list as well, and kind of cause a bit of a frenzy. That's my personal belief. It's not financial advice. I think the counter argument of, as I mentioned with Dr. Martin Hyperworks, saying they're not going to list because they're scared of Kaspa, is equally very valid. Pengu is not 100% a meme either, I guess, because they're literally toys for sale, like Pudgy Penguins. It's like a brand, really. I mean, again, I'm not too well versed in Pengu. I do know of it. I do know it's relatively a big meme. If the team who launched Pudgy Penguins and Pengu, if it's actually the team that launched that and they did it that way, then sure. Then it's a real life product that got made into an NFT/meme. But if it's just a third party who made it based off that, then it's the same principle, but it just has less, I guess it has more inherent risk. I mean, either way, I'm not discrediting anyone to going into it. You're entitled to do what you want to do, but it's just a risk to reward ultimately. They've also got a game coming. A game coming? What kind of game would it be? My first thought goes to Club Penguin. What a throwback game, by the way. The whole brand, and they have called it Abstract for Layer 2. with a streaming platform attached to it. I mean, it's again, it sounds interesting. It's something that I've not looked into it myself. Maybe I will do, but I mean, I think at this point in the cycle, when people tell me other projects, unless it's like absolutely like a, you know, quote unquote guaranteed pumper, or I'm just trading like a degen thing, like I've got my picks already. The cycle, I'm very much loaded up, and I'm still stacking those projects. I don't think I need to diversify now. At this stage of the cycle, I don't think I need to, unless I perceive that there's a like an absolute necessity. Like, let's say a new project comes out, and you know I've had it from insiders that it's going to do it like 5x the next 2 months. Like, okay, well I'll get into that then. Otherwise, then I don't think I need to. DC, I think tier 1's coming again. It's perfectly fine. Trump coin looks like the ICP chart. Oh yeah, it's terrible. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. The tier 1s are going to make it happen. That's what the last 10 months have been about. I mean, yeah, I'll argue that's the case. Like, I feel like they're just holding off and they're going to just kind of let rip all at once when we at least expect it. There's no good reason they haven't listed already. I mean, yes. Yes, they have. I wouldn't say there's no good reason. There definitely are many reasons for not listing. I think the good reason is what Martin Hyperx stated, which they're scared of Kaspa. I'd argue the other good reason is because, I mean, you could argue with Binance. Binance apparently were already back here, right? Binance were already back here. So why they didn't list like at this dip here or this dip here or even just here, I don't know. And then Kaspa went through this whole trend. The market then went very stale. Kaspa went very stale for a while. Binance now down here, they haven't really got a reason to list it, because if they list here, Kaspa was definitely going to do that and come back down again. There's no momentum in the market right now. If the market's really, really rallying off the back of Bitcoin breaking all-time highs and altcoins and starting, and Kaspa doing this pump anyways, then there's a good time to list. Then there's a good reason to list. But I mean, yeah, we can theorize about it. Ultimately, only they know. Not even Kaspa knows when they're going to list. Only the team, the exchange's team know. And it's apparently not in their strategy right now to list, which is, of course, frustrating for us. There's a reason why they didn't list it yet. They need to acquire all the tokens themselves, unless there would be a big market maker. That's also, yeah, that's all a good reason. They haven't listed it themselves because they need to acquire the tokens. But I'm sure you've got market makers like DWFs or like Wintermute who have done their job on that part. They're just not ready to list it just now. Again, there's no reason in my belief right now for them to list Kaspa at this current price. 8 cents is very cheap. But is it going to guarantee Kaspa going to make just a continuous rally from here? Pretty much, no. It needs a bit more. Yeah, okay, traffic is a very, very big threat to the other layer 1 blockchains. You know, it's a huge threat. That's why they also, like I said, that's what Dr. Martin Hyperx stated. It's such a big threat. That's what my video on smart contracts that I launched earlier today was about. It's such a big threat to everything else that there's a kind of a reason, therefore, to suppress Kaspa. But Kaspa has to go with a smaller market maker than DBF Labs. I mean, it's still a good market maker, and you might see more. You might see more as well. If only Kaspa would have went with jump trading for the market maker, they could have listed on more exchanges more easily. Still not as easier, but easily. I mean, yeah, but. I mean, again, whoever it is, you might see more market makers coming to Kaspa. At the end of the day, it wasn't Kaspa's choice; it was KEF's choice to go for DWF Labs. And I mean, yeah. Either way, like I'm still not worried about the price. I'm sure you'll see listings coming through, and they are, in my belief, lining up for Kaspa. You know, we've had Wolfie confirm that they're integrated. OKX and Binance, Coinbase are still lurking. You know, we've had exchanges talk about it. You know, and we've had exchanges leak about it as well. So again, it will happen. Welcome back, Double D, but you're doing very, very well. USDKG backed by Treasury Gold. Never heard of it, but I'll look into it. They are waiting for alt season to pump. They will list in the hype and make it even more. Yeah, I thought that's a good reason as well. Welcome up, Greg, bro. You're doing very, very well. Welcome back to the stream. I don't understand why you don't like Cassia, DC. You've given reasons, but I don't understand the reasons probably to not like Cassia. I don't understand the downplaying in Cassia. I don't know any other blockchain network that has this right now, or any protocol that has something like this right now. and it's still good. You know, it's something that would incentivize people to stay within Kaspa and spend Kaspa to send messages. If it's going to be quicker as well and cheaper as well, then why wouldn't you support that? John Trading does the market making for all majors like Bitcoin, ETH, Sui, Say, Solana. They can pump without Binance, Coinbase, and OKX. I mean, I think Kaspa can pump without them as well, but it'll be a lot more lackluster. But I think you'll see them. I think they want both. I think they want Altcoins to list. They want Altcoins to list Kaspa. They have to buy it out of their own pocket and not pay to launch it. They want profit from trades, yes, but they also want to launch it when the market's like going to start rallying properly. They want to see massive volume as well. Top 40 Kaspa addresses can afford the oceanfront property. True, but even that's only top 40, and most importantly exchanges as well. So no, we don't. We believe it's a market maker or Binance. My money's probably on Wintermute right now, because there's no tag for Wintermute to my knowledge, and Wintermute's been with Kaspa for a lot longer than DWF Labs have been. So that's my prediction. I like the ProFi, it's cool, a prediction market, but things like Cassia and some other more useless dApps or whatever. I mean, I think Cassia, the prediction market is cool. I'd argue Cassia is not as useless as people are kind of portraying it. You know, in and of itself, I think it's quite a cool element. You know, bringing decentralized, secure messaging, which is all conducted within Kaspa's ecosystem. I think it's quite a good idea. And again, either way, be that as it may, you got to keep in mind that we are, 3 months after 10 BPS was launched, only 3 months to 10 BPS, and we're a few months into creation of dApps on Kaspa with smart contracts. We haven't got a mainnet yet, and there are many apps that apparently been built that have no marketing. There's so much more coming to Kaspa. We are so early. This is just a kind of an inkling of what could be built with Kaspa. Banana Public thinks the ball will happen early next year, maybe saying Q3, Q4, but what if Q1 26 most likely? I think that there's a good possibility we see a bull run extend into 26, based on my institutional research that I've conducted, that I posted to my VIP, so they are aware of it as well. And based on other elements that I talk about, here as well, like the timing of when you're seeing these regulatory frameworks coming through and that sort of stuff. Institutions I'm going to want to have a pump for a few months. I want to have an extended pump, especially to get rate cuts as well. That's going to be a continuous cutting of rates. Once you get one rate cut, the rest will follow. They won't just cut and then stop. So I'd argue you might see an extended cycle. Of course, playing it by ear. We're not just going to say it's going to happen to leave it at that. We're playing it by ear, watching the markets. BYDFI is more like we need to see. Cassie is a bit pointless, although interesting technically. I mean, I think it's, again, more stuff being built, all quite interesting, right? ProBFI is interesting, like Polymarket, and Polymarket is quite a widely used app, so it's quite a cool thing, So you could see more stuff coming out as well. Short-term roadmap right now is a website live, then documentation, then Telegram community, then platform preview, and a full test application deployed on Cashback and Ego Labs. So they're going to be launching on both. Or the application deployments are going to be listed on both at least. They'll be coming out soon. So right now they've done all this stuff here. That's their next goal now. Or they're going to do that soon. So, it's cool stuff. And we'll see more stuff coming onto Kaspa soon as well, I'm sure. Yeah, exactly. That sometimes the best things in life, best apps, best protocol credit products are just derivatives of something that's already made, but for something else entirely. Polymarket is very successful. Make the similar thing for Kaspa. That could end up becoming the next big thing. Also, you could end up seeing Polymarket maybe bridge to Kaspa in the future as well. Who knows? It's interesting stuff, and this stuff could be kind of spiraled out from there as well. Gemini I'm not too bothered by it either. I think it's still good to have it, but I'm not too bothered. I prefer Crypto.com out of those tier 1. If like Kraken, Gemini, and Crypto.com, I think Crypto.com is the biggest one out of the lot. Kraken is good, definitely, but people don't use the exchange too much because it hasn't got a stablecoin pair. With that, you see a lot more adoption, I'm sure. Are these Kaspa dApps easy to build? No. According to according to the video, I made a video on it. According to just earlier, according to Chris Kang. Let me load it up. According to Chris Kang, he made a post here talking about, do we really need Ethereum like Kas Kaspa? He mentioned from the outset the goal of Casplex Layer 2 is not just to be compatible with Ethereum dApps. I aim to reduce the workload for developers building on Kaspa. I'm very impressed with the work done by Cassia Messaging. However, for others looking to build on Kaspa, it's a challenging task. So apparently it's not easy to build on Kaspa right now. That's what their goal is right now with the launch of, the EVM stuff like that. They're trying to also find ways to make it easier to build, which is why they're looking at Lua right now. If you want to find out more about that sort of stuff, I made a video on it literally a few hours back. Check it out right there. But yeah, apparently not easy to build on Kaspa right now. So the stuff being built on Kaspa right now is impressive. And you'll see more of that coming out when the code and the onboarding process is easier as well. But I mean, yeah, we'll have to wait and see, We have no idea. Kaspa's going to do $2.5 a cycle. Potentially. I mean, Crypto is very adamant it will. But there's a good chance for it. That's only 100. It's 100 billion. No, it's a 52 bill market cap to 130 bill market cap in that regard. Therefore, I don't think 52 bill too high. Cassia is just DApp. That is whatever. Like, why would you pay Cassia to send a message? I could just use any messaging app for free. On that argument point, then yeah, I guess that's fair enough. But I guess everything coming on blockchain, people are gonna have to try and find a way to monetize their, transactions. There will be like messaging apps for free. Like you can use stuff like, I guess like what Twitter. You can message people on Twitter, right, and that's free. You haven't got to pay for that, I don't believe. Or Instagram. Those other maps, social media apps you can use, but you can message for free. So I think that's fair enough. But everything's gonna come onto blockchain. There'll be a form of payment that happens, whether you realize it or not. It's a good chance you see Kaspa become this, gas fee that's so invisible you don't even recognize it's happening, but it is. I think it's an interesting idea, and based on how apparently complex it is to build, it's a very, very impressive work. But I can get that point. Q3 is right now. We're in Q3 right now. I think we'll see a relief rally of sorts in this quarter. Will we see a full-blown bull market and alt cycle? I don't know yet. I think we need to see the regulatory frameworks come through. We need to see some rate cuts come through. We need to see the FUD from the trade war kind of dissipate a bit more as well. The tariff stuff. There's a lot of catalysts still to come out. And again, I actually published a monthly institutional report from Signum Bank talking about that, which is available in my VIP server as well. So what these institutions are looking out for is a big catalyst as well. You want to find that stuff again. VIP group, link down in the description on my homepage here as well. Wop.com/coin factory. BYDFI and Moonbound both have great use in Zeal, of course, for the DEX. I haven't looked too much into Moonbound, but BYDFI does sound quite interesting off the back of it right now, so I hope to see more stuff coming out soon. Nobody knows when the top will be, technically, if it follows the same cycle trends. We're talking about being into Q3. I mean, true. No one knows, but no one's got a crystal ball, but we have to wait and see what happens from here, Wait until heavy censorship comes, and the only way you communicate freely is through a blockchain that cannot be controlled. I mean, again, things will change. Things will shift with blockchain becoming more prevalent. Fair. I think that's a fair point, DC. It's a fair point. But again, with blockchain becoming an integral part of everything in the future, you'll see every, messaging app, whether it be iMessage, you might see Apple products. Well, you will see Apple stuff. Apple stuff will translate onto a blockchain. Everything's going to run on blockchain in the future. That's not speculation, that's fact. Everything's going to be tokenized on a blockchain. So therefore, getting ahead is not a bad idea. And also, yeah, power will be gone next year. And Trump could bring in, or probably will be signing up a new replacement that will be more along with his agendas that are going to cut this aggressively. So that also could potentially incentivize a massive relief in 26 as well. So who knows? Kaspa will become a safe haven during the bear market, if there's a bear market. I would say so as well. I mean, yeah, technically speaking, the price to pay for messaging on Kaspa is so cheap that it's basically free, but it's technically not. But it's very, 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 very cheap and very quick. It could be a Q4 bull run cycle. That'd be, I've waited this long anyway, so I can wait another 3 months. What's 3 months to me? My kind of strategy is move wallets after 14 years, like the Bitcoin whales. Hey, you and me both, brother, honestly. I might, have a little bit of a, relief from when the cycle tops out. Have a little bit of my enjoyment for Kaspa, but I'm going to hold most of it. Like, I don't think I'm going to take much out of it at all, actually. True. Yeah, you can also use it for business ops. Yeah, there's a lot more than just simply messaging. We run essentially pump fund, but on Kaspa, so it will gain a lot of traction to Kaspa and adoption succeeds. I mean, that does sound reassuring, although pump fund is getting banned and will definitely be shut down with regulations coming through. So you've got to make sure that, if you're going to build something like that, it's going to be compliant regulation that's going to bring problems to the ecosystem of Kaspa. So you've got to be careful in that regard, therefore. To ignore Kaspa, yeah. So same principle, yeah. All the catalysts are strategically being positioned for the run. SOMP has deep state corrections. Hey, more conspiracy, I'd love to hear that. I mean, I agree with the first part, second part, sure, conspiracy, love it. Without paying the miner to secure the network and transactions, there's no way to send it. Well, yeah, again, it gives more money to the miners, effectively. It keeps everything within the ecosystem. So I think there's reason to like and hate it, but I think everything's going to come on blockchain in the future, so it's not a bad idea. And it's interesting, again, from what I've been told about how hard it is to build on Kaspa, it's impressive stuff. And we'll see that stuff coming out more and more. Will it generate a lot of, traction and income and stuff? Not necessarily. It's doing well right now. It might take off more in the future, especially when it's released mainnet, released publicly as well. But will it generate most of the capital and revenue? Who knows? Probably not. But it can still do very well. And this is just, again, the more apps you built on Kaspa, you'll have some dust, you'll have some diamonds, and they'll all correlate. But even though people will still use the dust apps, most will still get used. So you have to see. Signal is owned by a company that is and can be controlled by the government policy worldwide. Pretty much every mobile app is controlled one way or the other. The premise of, again, this Cassia is bringing decentralized messaging, so you actually have full protection, full ownership, and security of your own messages. You're not being spied on effectively. Which, anything you send on, think about it. If you type certain things on your phone, you can get put on a watch list. That stuff happens. Even me saying this, I'm probably put on a watch list right now. With this, you can end up. In theory, you could have more privacy, but again, it's early days, right? It's early days. It's interesting stuff, right? Could a proof of stake layer 1 use Kaspa as a validator in the case of validator failed? Technically speaking, yes, I think so. From what I've heard Igra mention that they're going to plan to build abilities to bridge to the Move VM, so the Move language, so SUI. So you could probably see, therefore, other layer 1s and layer 2s built on top of Kaspa in the future to be. High or low, my bad. Did you say a message earlier that I didn't see? I don't see the message before that. I see the high or low, I don't see anything before that. If you're saying about the market strategy right now, then yeah, it's what I said as well. Right now, I think we've got a low here, a high low here, it's a high here, so there's a good chance to see a higher high once we break out 8 cents here as well. I love the conspiracy theory. Most of the elites come from Harvard, and his father and grandfather were professors there. Yeah. He's very well connected. He's got a massive repertoire, accolades. So Son Polinsky is an elite in all that regard. So, yeah, good conspiracy theory. I'm not against them either. I do love a little bit here and there. I think Kaspa, yeah, it's still in safe hands. That's how I stand at it. And you're seeing stuff being built. You'll see treasuries being built for it. More, ways to just pay with Kaspa to buy just natural things like housing or groceries or haircuts. Whatever it may be. Things are looking good. Tariff FUD still very much there, but you can in theory use Cassia to communicate with dependent devices used for tracking complex movements. Yeah, you can Cassia's got more than just simply messaging your mate. It's got more use cases. You'll find out more in the future. A lot of alts look like they're on the higher time frames in the long time, so I do think that we'll see some kind of run this quarter. I think so as well. We'll see a run this quarter, definitely. Government can't break standards based on encryption easily, even if they can accept it, Tony. And encryption is your friend. Well, I'm going to leave that discussion up to you two, probably in your own time, because that's, yeah. I actually have to go right now. With that being said, thank you all once more for watching today's Kaspa Crypto live stream. If you enjoyed, leave a like. At 27, can we make 35 likes today? Be very, very big, please, if not 40. Leave a like, share, subscribe for more. If you want more about crypto and Kaspa, check out the free Discord server, link down below in the description on my homepage here. The VIP as well, and equally got the affiliate link to BYDFI, which currently is actually a deposit campaign. We can get up to a free $2,000 bonus up until 14th of July. So if you want to partake in that, check that out down below in the description. Also my YouTube and my Discord community. Thanks for the membership and salute to you for staying consistent, because many of the other creators fell off. I mean, it weren't me, that was Falco for that. So shout out to Falco once more for the membership. And I appreciate very much for the support once more, all of you here for tuning in every single day. That being said, have a great day, good evening, good night, my people, my family, and I'll see you all